The South Caucasus, a crossroads of ancient history and modern geopolitics, has long been a hotbed of tension. At the heart of this unrest lies the decades-old conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia, sparked by Armenia's occupation of Karabakh, an internationally recognized part of Azerbaijan. This conflict left behind a legacy of grief, with countless lives lost and lingering wounds that continue to shape the future of both nations. In an attempt to mediate peace, the OSCE Minsk Group was established in 1992. Yet despite the end of open hostilities after the Second Karabakh War in 2020, the group's effectiveness and relevance remain subjects of heated debate. President Aliyev recently reignited this debate, calling for the Minsk Group's dissolution as a necessary step towards lasting peace with Armenia.
The information that recently appeared in the media, namely the fascist statements of the first president of Armenia, once again confirms what we have known for quite a long time in principle, that Armenia was not going to vacate a single centimeter of Azerbaijani territory. They felt quite comfortable, as they thought, receiving billions of dollars worth of free arms from one ally and political and moral support from the other two. Thus, all three co-chairs of the OSCE Minsk Group during the period for which I am responsible were unequivocally on the side of the occupier. I am telling you this as a person who has been conducting negotiations within the framework of the Minsk Group since 2004 and has met with this troika a great number of times. Therefore, of course, we could not expect to get these territories back through dialogue. Neither could we expect to restore our territorial integrity through dialogue.
The OSCE Minsk Group, tasked with resolving the Karabakh conflict, proposed several plans over the years, yet none succeeded in breaking the deadlock. 1997, a comprehensive agreement was proposed, but founded amid Armenia's internal political turmoil. September 1997, a step-by-step deal suggested phased troop withdrawals and the introduction of peacekeepers, but was again rejected by Armenia. November 1998, the Common State deal offered Karabakh broad autonomy, which Azerbaijan turned down due to sovereignty concerns. 2007, the Madrid Principles were unveiled but failed to gain traction. 2009, at the G8 summit, the US, Russia, and France presented the basic principles, but progress remained elusive. 2020, during the Second Karabakh War, Azerbaijan reclaimed its territories through military victory, sidelining the Minsk Group. President Ilham Aliyev has underscored that a peace treaty hinges on the formal dissolution of the Minsk Group and constitutional amendments to affirm Azerbaijan's territorial integrity.
I hope that all our conditions regarding the peace treaty will be accepted, because there are no extraordinary issues in these conditions. The abolition of the Minsk Group, the amendment of the constitution. Without these, a peace treaty is impossible. If Armenia does not need a peace treaty, we do not need it either.
The Minsk Group's critics include former diplomats who have described its operations as largely ceremonial. Former US Ambassador Richard E. Hoagland remarked,
"We stayed in five-star hotels where we were usually assigned suites on the executive floor that gave us access to a private dining room and full bar at no additional expense. We always sought out the best restaurants in the cities where we found ourselves. We lived well while we showed the OSCE flag and reminded Baku and Yerevan that the Minsk Group exists. But to be blunt, very, very little ever got accomplished."
Since the Second Karabakh War, Azerbaijan and Armenia have engaged in direct talks focused on 5 principles, including mutual recognition of borders and respect for territorial integrity. In December 2023, the two nations took a pivotal step by agreeing to exchange prisoners of war and work towards normalizing relations. This breakthrough was followed in April 2024 by a historic agreement to demarcate their shared border, with Armenia returning several villages to Azerbaijan. These milestones, achieved through direct negotiations, cast further doubt on the Minsk Group's role and the true interests of its member states in the current peace process.